Good with y'all boys, man. KJ and this bitch going up all 2026. Ain't changed no females, focus on getting rich. Y'all see the title. Let's go ahead and get right to the video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to your boy.
These new TDE allegations are fucking horrific. This is terrible. There's an artist on the TDE called Alameda. She's dead center in the middle of all these allegations. Now, Alameda signed a TDE about 5 years ago, and Alameda and two of her friends will essentially be taken through hell by TDE, according to the allegations. Surprisingly, Alameda is still signed to TDE, which would explain a lot of the recent developments in this case. Linda on the left was brought in by TDE to manage Alameda, help her with her career, give her various looks. Linda is currently working with Jello Ball, and she helped Jello Ball get a deal. So she's an industry fixer. She's one of those people who's well connected in the industry, and she was brought in to help Alameda. Aya is Alameda's childhood friend who came along with Alameda, lived in the TDE house with Alameda when she moved in and got signed to TDE. So Aya was essentially doing work with Alameda, but she was also just part of the entourage. Now, both these women have filed active lawsuits against TDE. The lawsuit got filed by Linda and Aya after Alameda called a meeting with TDE executives to complain about harassment and abuse that Linda, Aya, and herself has been going through at the hands of TDE associates and personnels. People who are supposed to be in position of power over them, using that position of power to essentially harass.
Fresh lemonade!
Sorry, kid, I don't get paid till Friday.
Just use Bridget and get up to $250 instantly. With no.
During this meeting, Alameda challenged TDE executives to take control and protect women. She will say specifically, you got to understand, if I say something one time and nothing happened, what would be the reason for me saying it over and over? Clearly, I'm not being protected. It's the men that are being protected. Alameda would convey that she had been harassed and violated to no end by several high-profile TDE artists while she was living in a TDE house, and nothing had been done about it. As a matter of fact, the high-profile artists were protected. Alameda reported Isaiah Rashad, one of the most notable names at TDE, and who's also Alameda's biggest source of harassment, the most consistent source of harassment. And she reported him, and they did nothing, right? They didn't do a goddamn thing. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't protect Alameda. They didn't make it stop. Another artist named Artist S in the lawsuit, who many believe is Sir, tried to bust in Alameda's room while she was sleeping. Now, Alameda will state that things like this happen all the time. So one can only imagine why you were busting in, a girl's room that was locked, who didn't want you in there while she was sleeping. Like, I can only imagine what the ill intentions were. But in terms of Isaiah Rashad, she stated that Isaiah, without consent, has sent her a picture of his love muscle and his meat and his penis and videos that were sexual in nature.
Man.
Now, Isaiah would also offer to pay Alameda's bills if he could watch Alameda give another man head while he watched.
Well, what the fuck?
What in the diddler playbook are we talking about here? Yo, ain't TDE supposed to be a record label comprised of multiple gangs? Like, TDE was started by gang members.
That shit
the executives are gang members. Like, there are artists who are also gang members. Like, this supposed to be like a gang member hub, like a hub for real ninjas. How are they like condoning like Diddy-like activities, man? And apparently it's happening in the public. Now, Isaiah Rashad was outed by one of his encounters like a couple of years ago. Right, and by outed, I mean they posted a video of Isaiah Rashad on faux knees. The elbows were also his knees. So on faux knees, throwing down two Mexicans.
What
now,
the
I don't roll that way, obviously.
Oh my.
He was living the flexible boy activities fantasies, right? I mean, real. Any flexible ninja who bend that way.
What the fuck?
What is a greater fantasy than getting thrown down in their world that we don't understand by two Mexicans, by two Latinos? I guess the only other greater fantasy in flexible boy universe would be for somebody to watch them get thrown, which is why he offered to pay Alameda bills if she would watch him engage in acts with other men. This is straight out of the diddler playbook. I I'll be real. I don't even think the
What
diddler
the
is this
fuck is
flagrant.
in
Like,
my
I think Diddy
headphones
was trying to
right
have
now,
like
bro?
threesomes and freak offs, but I don't think the diddler were paying people to watch him give throat to other men. But this is what she's a legend that Isaiah Rashad offered.
shit
There's
zesty
a
as
thin
fuck.
line between proposition and harassment.
That
It
shit
becomes
gay, all type of
harassment
shit.
once you sent me an unsolicited in a picture of your penis, and then you start to offer me, right, for me to engage in damn near prostitution, right, on your behalf. That's harassment, especially if I'm expressing that I'm not with it. But the reason why Alameda is not involved or not listed as a plaintiff in this lawsuit is because Alameda is still signed to TDE. And we learned from Drake that it's probably not great to sue your label while you're still signed to them. That's probably stupid and very dumb. But what took place here is when Alameda called this meeting, Alameda recorded the meeting for 3 hours. And she equipped and armed Linda Luna and her best friend, Aya, with the audio, right, of this recording. And with the audio of this recording, plus the text messages, well, Linda Luna and Aya was now equipped to file this lawsuit because they now had at least proof and a record of these conversations taking place and these complaints being made to TDE executives. Linda will report an incident to TDE executives where Brandon, who's
All
the
them
son
niggas
of the
look lame
literal
as
owner of
fuck.
TDE, will try to grape her after a night out drinking. Linda and Brandon went to the Cheesecake Factory. They had a couple of drinks. Her car was parked at his residence, so they drove back to his residence. However,
lame as
because she
fuck.
was parked, she asked him if she could go lay down for a little bit because she was really drunk. So, you know, and he agreed. Again, it's per normal, right? So she went to go lay down. And when she went to go lay down, Brandon waited a little bit, then came into the room according to her and tried to take it forcibly, right? Like try to grape her. Now she was able to get away because she like made a vomiting motion, and that was able to get him off of her for a little bit, and then she was able to hop up and then run out the door. Now, she reported this incident to Alameda the night it happened. These were incidents they were documenting when it happened. This wasn't like they pop up 6 months later with like these accounting things. No, these were being documented. There's a message between Linda and Brandon where she's telling like Brandon, yo, why would you try to do that? And you know I'm dating your homeboy. Linda at the time had a relationship with, I believe, J-Rock. So she's like, why would you try to do this knowing I'm with J-Rock? This is not cool. Right? And the girls will also call each other and let each other know what this person just tried and what this person just tried. So this was well documented as it was happening. Now, when Linda was speaking about this during the meeting, she got so emotional she had to walk out to
lock them niggas up, bro. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck going on, gang?
Herself. The briefing stated that Linda broke down in tears, again stating, I'm sorry, but it has happened with his brother. Give me a minute, okay? Give me a minute. At this point, Linda had to stop to compose herself. During that time, on information and belief, Artist A stated that she had previously informed TDE about the incident. So again, this was being documented and reported as it happened, right? And that the incident was also why Alameda had blocked Brandon on Instagram. Artist A, which is Alameda, further stated that the reason she did not socialize in the office was because of instances like the one she and Ms. Luna had raised. This was not the only instance, by the way. These women were waking up every day and playing Hunger Games for their coochie, bruh. They were literally having a fight for their lives for their coochie, bruh.
No,
like, bro, Linda and Aya was playing God of War on getting God of War mode. Like, yo, the difficulty was very hard. Now, Aya, well, Alameda would also document, bruh, like, similar things happened to Aya as well. And the very same people who did it is still around. They're still in the house after we alerted y'all and told y'all what they did to Aya. Aya, who's Alameda's best friend, was also living in the TDE house with Alameda. And while she was in the house living there, a member of TDE who was also in the house came up from behind her. Now, the member was called B-Dog. Now, the complaint stated that B-Dog approached Aya from behind in the kitchen and without her consent, rubbed his erect genitalia against her buttocks. He repeated this conduct on one other occasion. These dudes were freaked out, bruh. Yo, can you imagine having to wake up in your home and have to fight for your coochie every day, bruh? I don't know what type of horn dogs they had around, bro, but this ain't boo. This ain't cool. So in January of 2021, another instance happened to Aya. Apparently, a guy by the name of David Harrell, which goes by H. Wood, whom Aya understood to be affiliated with TDE. Now, he has TDE films in his bio, I believe. Now, he was asked to drive Aya to a studio he had booked for Alameda. So they booked a studio session for Alameda. Aya is apparently the best friend. So he was driving Aya to the studio with Alameda. Now, Alameda and Linda Luna were both waiting on Aya at the studio, right? So Linda and Alameda was waiting at the studio on Aya. He was supposed to drive Aya to the studio. Now, on the way, H. Wood, aka David Harrell, stated that he needed to stop at his home to grab some documents for Brandon. Now, he brought Aya inside and prepared her an alcoholic drink. On information and belief, he was aware that Aya wasn't even 21 yet. Aya felt pressured into drinking a beverage. After she consumed the drink, H. Wood, aka David Harrell, attempted to force Aya onto his lap and attempted to take her clothes off, grabbing her body without consent in intimate areas. Aya literally had to run out the house and run down the hill and call Alameda to let her know, hey, girl, blah, blah, blah.
Well, what the fuck, bro?
The complaint stated that Aya loudly objected and pushed him away. She escaped the residence, running down the street to a nearby convenience store where she called Alameda to tell her what had happened. On information and belief, Alameda then informed Brandon, the same dude who again, according to them, tried to grape Linda. So the attempted rapist is supposed to punish the attempted rapist, and obviously no punishment ever took place, according to Alameda, according to Linda, and according to Aya. There's so much more we're not getting into, like one of, the owner of TDE's son, Musa, he apparently wouldn't pay Linda certain things or wouldn't pay Linda what he owed her, but instead he would make suggestive comments, trying to hit on her and sexually harass her, sending her pictures and videos, right, of like pornographic things, even though, he was her employer, things of that sort. Now, the meeting is recorded. Alameda recorded the meeting and then armed her best friend and armed Linda with the 3-hour conversation and the audio where they are acknowledging they were told about this. They are acknowledging these reports were made and nothing was done about it. No action was done. The audio was recorded, so they're just transcribing what's in the audio and what we'll probably hear when this goes to trial. But, here's like a few snippets from the meeting they had where Luna jumped into the conversation stating that Alameda doesn't feel protected because of the things that have transpired. Alameda just outright said, yo, H. Wood, which is David Harrell, tried to grape Aya. And this obviously referred to the incident that we just covered. The most interesting dynamic about this is Alameda is still signed to TDE, but yet it feels like Linda and Aya, who's suing TDE, got Alameda's full support, right? Right, because Aya is obviously Alameda's best friend, and Linda was once, I guess, managing Alameda when she was working for TDE. But in this situation, it's like, hold on. If your artist who signed to you is actively supporting a lawsuit against you, what happens to the artist? Where do this go from here? Now, Alameda has expressed that she blocked Brandon, his phone number on Instagram, or whichever one of the two or both. So she has completely distanced herself from what would be the TDE executives, right? She's completely against the culture at TDE from what it appears. Now, they called her out for her attitude, but she's a woman. She's gonna have attitude if she feels like you are attempting to grape her homegirls and you are allowing your homies to try to attempt to grape her homegirls without any type of, course of actions.
But that shit is
let
weird.
me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this?
Want
I
to
think
do
this
that
is bad.
shit.
This is terrible.
It's hell of
let
y'all
me know,
niggas
okay?
trash.
And if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out how Boston Richie apparently got exposed for.
Like, y'all niggas is weird, gang. Like, it's like all y'all niggas trying to do the same shit. Lock they ass up, bro. What the fuck? Hell no.